Y'all give us a minute and we'll get everybody in the room. All right, first of all, welcome. I want to thank everyone that is here and present. I want to especially thank each of you press members that are here. I know that might be unusual coming from me, but the fact that you are here and care about our society, care about our communities and the crimes that go on and occur, that you're willing to be out here and help us get this message out. I have many agencies here, representatives. Obviously, I have Colonel House with FHP, AG Uthmeier, and Commissioner Glass here who will be speaking here in a little bit. And we're going to start with, I'm going to give you a highlight. Now, this operation, ICAC operation, was a 6-day operation. Now, a lot of people don't understand, don't know what that operation entails, what exactly it looks like, and here it is in basic terms for everybody. Detectives are posing as children or as bad parents trafficking their children. And this operation nets unfortunately, more arrests every single time we do it. Now, on one hand, you like success. But in these cases, success also means that there's evil things out there that are going on. These activities, this type of crime, isn't limited to Marion County. It occurs in every county in this state. It occurs in every state through this nation. Now, here in Marion County, we take a very aggressive, proactive approach to this. No holds barred. Because I want to find every one of these pieces of shits and get them out of my county. Hopefully get them out of every county and get them out, as you're going to see here through some of the names we're going to run through, get them out of the United States. They have no business here. They have no business preying on our children every single day. There are fathers and there are mothers in this room. There are fathers that are standing next to me. One that has one on the way. I know he fully understands as a parent the seriousness of these crimes. And really, my message out here is to the parents that are watching. You need to be aware. Listen to everything that is going to be said by myself, by the 3 speakers, and all these cases. Everything that you're going to put out there. Parents, you need to pay attention. These predators simply found us. They found our profiles. They solicited us. The only thing that we did is we joined whatever application, whatever website, many of them out there. It doesn't make a difference what it is because they are all vulnerable for children to be able to get access to. Every single one of them. And I also want you to keep in mind, we're only talking about individuals that we arrested who were traveling here to Marion County. There are other cases that we didn't get to put physical hands on them as well. And that's more to come after this. These predators, the demographics doesn't make a difference. Doesn't matter your social status, doesn't make a difference of your race, doesn't make a difference of ethnicity. It is a wide scale of individuals. Pure evil is what it is. We caught illegals, we caught legals, immigrants, fathers, coaches, husbands, even a student. In all, in 6 days, for right now, 58 bodies, 58 individuals that we've arrested. Their photos are up there. If the outline is in pink, they were trying to meet up with a girl. If it's in blue, they were trying to get a boy. This was a large-scale operation. And I want you to understand one other thing. This office, and I know for the state of Florida, we will spare no expense to catch and put behind bars and put in prison these individuals. And I want to personally say thank you to all the individuals. The first is to my community, business community. They are phenomenal. Now, we are blessed in the state of Florida, as the AG knows, with our community who loves their first responders. They love to fight crime. And they stepped up to the plate. They provided meals for my deputies, for the officers, for the attorneys, everybody that was involved. They stepped up to the plate. You'll see that FDLE, my buddy Sheriff Judd, Polk County was involved. Columbia County, Sheriff Kitchens sent individuals. The Ocala Police Department, Chief Balkin. Lake City Police Department, Chief Butler. The Florida Highway Patrol. U.S. Marshals Task Force, Homeland Security, the FBI, the Florida Sheriff's Association, and, I'll say it on camera like I always do, the best state attorney in this state, the 5th Judicial Circuit, Bill Gladson, the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Middle District, and, of course, the best AG in the entire United States for each of the states is our own General Uthmeier's office, always participating and being part of this. So let me run through a couple of these individuals. Jeremiah Johnson. He was speaking with detectives for 9 months. And then during this operation, he got on a bus from Atlanta, showed up expecting to have sex with a 13-year-old girl. Patrick Hahn, local individual, worked at the restaurant in one of our Walmarts. He made arrangements to meet with a 14-year-old girl in the bathroom at Walmart. Now, when my deputy showed up, he literally crapped in his pants. Love it. Scared him to death. Robert Mixon. Robert Mixon lives across the street from Tuscaloosa Park in the city of Ocala, where children play. He made arrangements to meet with a 15-year-old girl. Peyton Sims wanted to meet a girl at 14 years of age over in Ormond Beach. Now, he did comment to what he thought was talking to a 14-year-old, and his comments were, I don't want to show up and this be a Chris Hansen thing. Well, he was right, but the dumbass still showed up. The juvenile in which we did get, Kingston McAllister, 16-year-old. Now, this is where, as a father, this is where it breaks my heart. And here, before I go any further with his information, there is more than just a single victim of a child in these cases. These parents, I could not fathom, AG, I don't think you could either, fathom being the parent of this 16-year-old boy. His full intent was to meet a 15-year-old boy for sex and a 7-year-old girl for sex. He also had child pornography on his phone. Now, I went out on a couple of these cases with the teams, and I got to see it firsthand. Wyatt Bernstein. Marion, you need to pay attention to this. When I tell you it doesn't make a difference of who they are, you cannot tell who they are. Little League football coach here in Marion was trying to meet up with a 15-year-old boy. And one of his comments to the detectives online, telling the boy not to take a shower because he likes him to smell musty. That's messed up. You know, the middle picture, probably when I was there, this is what bothered me the most, is that child seat. Two things ran through my mind. The first thing is the child seat is there with all the toys, maybe to entice or to continue to lure the children that they want. But then the second thing that came to mind is he has kids. Now, every one of us in law enforcement, every one of us that are sworn in here, the first thing that comes to mind is, are those children victims as well? John Leninger. Now, I got to call him out on the PA to come out of the house, and he did. Twice. The first time he offered $150 for a 15-year-old girl. The next day he came back, offered another $200 if the girl would show up at his house. Now, here's some things that was disturbing. When we were at the house, he had a mannequin in one window on the front. There was another mannequin in another location at a window, and he had police uniforms on these mannequins. Now, his lame excuse was it helps deter crime coming into my house. It's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that he's trying to make the children feel comfortable that are coming into this house. Now, he conveniently did all this when his wife went to work. Remember I said the innocent victims outside of the children involved in this? Obviously, wives have no clues. Mickey Barber and David Smith. Now, they showed up together wanting to violate a 14-year-old girl. Now, what they didn't realize is they pulled in a parking space literally right next to me. Guess whose smiling face they got to see? Put them in handcuffs. Mr. Smith is already a registered sex offender. John Goodman. His last name is a good man, but he sure enough is not a good man. He was trying to meet a 7-year-old. Doesn't make a difference, male or female. 7-year-old. Eric Morin went to Target to pick up a little boy and a little girl for sex. Probably the most disturbing individual out of all of them. Even Mr. Hansen commented on it, that he's probably described him as one of the worst that he has ever seen in all of his interactions with these individuals. He wanted to pick up a little boy and a little girl for sex. He told the detectives that he fantasizes about randomly groping kids in a store. Parents, pay attention. You hear what I just said? He fantasizes. If he fantasizes, that means he's probably doing it when your child is in the store with him. Online, he has tried to groom 9-year-olds. He even admitted to detectives that he did violate a 5-year-old girl years ago. And before you ask me the question, yes, the detectives are doing everything they can to try to find that case. Now, you've heard me say it numerous times. We have broken systems throughout this United States. And sometimes our judicial system fails us. And here's a couple of them. Mr. Matthew White was just arrested in April in Stuart, Florida, during a child sex predator sting. And he was out on bond. He should not even have a bond, because he was trying to head to meet here to meet a 14-year-old girl to have sex. And I know I'll get it. I get it all the time. You talk about people in prison, it's their first time. They don't deserve to be here. Mr. Sessler was just released from prison after serving 1 year for cocaine. 1 year. He was trying to meet a 14-year-old boy. Now, I've got an award for one. He's getting the Dumas Award. Matthew Salagi. He came here to meet with a 14-year-old girl. You want to know where he agreed to meet? At the Marion County Jail. And he showed up in front of the Marion County Jail. At least he saved me some money. I didn't have to use all that gas to take him far. Big topic in the United States. I know he talks about it quite often. And that is the immigrants, illegals, legals in the United States that are here, coming here on a regular basis. Sebastian Ortiz, far right, from Colombia, and Alexis from El Salvador. They told detectives that in their country, it is normal for a 13 and a 14-year-old to have intimate relations with an adult. Well, keep your ass in both of those countries and don't come to the United States. Carl is from the Ukraine. He's trying to meet a 13-year-old girl. Now, here's ones that should get your attention. Here's the illegal, Mr. Chavez from Guatemala, 15-year-old boy. Now, these three all have ICE detainers. Robert Pham was here on a work visa. People, whether they're here illegally or legally, we need to be doing a better job of vetting individuals coming into the United States, because these are the ones that are coming in and preying in on our children. He was from Egypt, traveled from Orlando to meet a 15-year-old girl. Marion County School. Pay attention. Those of you that got them in our public school. Now, I give kudos to Superintendent Brewer. She stepped to the plate immediately and took action and did what she could do to get rid of this individual. And that's Shakes. Second grade teacher at Fessenden Elementary. He was here on a work visa on a program that a lot of our school districts use, which is nothing wrong with the program, but you need to vet people. From Jamaica, he was wanting to meet a little boy. And probably the most disturbing thing to me, he's author of children's books. I looked up one of them. All it is a grooming tool for this type of behavior, is all that book is. That gives you a little bit of highlight. I didn't go through all 58, but I'm here to tell you, if you were to see some of the stuff that they gave to my detectives, pictures, photos, what they said they wanted to do, what they were going to do with these children, it should infuriate every single person on this camera. It should infuriate everybody that is watching. Now, I'm going to turn the podium over to the three gentlemen here, and I'm going to allow them to speak because I know they got the same opinion as myself. And I'm again going to tell you this. I appreciate each of them for their staff, for the hard work that their employees do, their troopers, their agents, and the attorneys that are a part of it. And I'm going to turn it over to FDLE Commissioner Glass. Commissioner Glass.
Good morning. My name is Mark Glass. I'm the FDLE Commissioner. And you guys have a great sheriff here and a great chief of police and a great state attorney. You have the people here that will not tolerate this type of thing in Marion County. I want to tell you that what you're seeing and if it doesn't get you stirred up in your soul, then you need to check yourself. Hearing this type of thing happening in your community or trying to happen in your community. This is what it is. It's called pure evil. Just like the scripture says, going to and fro like a lion looking for something to devour. These clowns try to be a lion looking for something to devour. Luckily, we got a lion tamer here that was able to grab them and put them in jail before they could devour any more of our children and the innocents. You're very fortunate to have an attorney general of this great state, who I've had the privilege to work for, who goes after this. There's not a daylight between he and I on the way we think about this. I will pull out all the stops of FDLE's criminal justice professionals to support my chiefs of police, our sheriffs, our other state law enforcement agencies, all of our state attorneys, to ensure that we go after these bad actors in your community. The sheriff hit it home and told you what the problem is. This is a reoccurring thing that's happening. To have some yahoo to show up at a jail shows you that they're not right in the head already. And anybody that thinks they can do this to our children and our loved ones like this, they're not right. They're evil. And we should be able to get out there, and it takes the whole community to make sure that you prevent this in your community. Help the sheriffs and the chiefs to prevent this in the community. Help the schools, the superintendents, help them combat this evil scourge on our society. There's tools that you have. Parents, I'm going to speak to you. And you hear the Attorney General talk about his thing going against roadblocks, having your children having a capability to just do stuff online and you're not paying attention. These yahoos right here, they're even more sophisticated ones that get on there and talk through voiceover to make it sound like they're a child, to recruit them off these off these websites and these gaming platforms. You need to know what's going on in your house. And I'm going to give you some resources. Come to the FDLE website, and we will give you a ton of resources there to help you combat this in your own home, in your own neighborhood, in your own community. Don't be afraid to shout it out. If it's wrong or seems wrong, let somebody know. Let one of the sheriff's deputies or the chief's police officers know about it. When in doubt, shout it out. You have the opportunity to prevent another one of our loved ones from being scourged with this type of behavior. Ladies and gentlemen, we put it back to you at the same time. Thank you for you voting these folks in office, because they're the ones fighting this great fight. And thank you for doing your part in the community. But we can excel still more. Remember that. We can all excel still more. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And now I'll turn it over to FHP Colonel, Colonel Houts.
Thank you, Sheriff. I want to begin by thanking Attorney General Uthmeier for his leadership on issues that impact the safety and the well-being of every Floridian and visitor to our beautiful state. This operation reflects exactly the kind of coordinated, multi-agency effort that makes Florida a difficult place for criminal predators to operate. Your state troopers were proud to support with our aviation assets in this operation, working alongside Attorney General's office, our Commissioner Glass's folks, his FDLE agents and analysts, Chief Billy Woods and your deputies at the Marion County Sheriff's Office, Chief Balkin with the Ocala Police Department and his officers, all to protect Florida's children. Florida's law enforcement shares a common mission, and that manifests itself in agencies cooperating and communicating with each other, sharing data and technology, intelligence, and especially resources. It doesn't happen everywhere in this country, and it doesn't happen by coincidence. It happens in Florida, though. It happens here in Florida because of our 67 sheriffs, our police chiefs, my peers, and state law enforcement working together as resource multipliers. This is especially the case when empowered by strong leadership such as General Uthmeier, our Governor Ron DeSantis, our Florida Cabinet, my boss, Director Kerner, and our elected individuals that represent the citizens of the free state of Florida. Those seeking to victimize kids will find the full weight of law enforcement bringing every resource we have to bear on them. Put them in jail, escort them to face Florida justice and their criminal acts. And behind every badge, I'm going to share this, and it seems like common sense, but it's worth saying. Behind every badge of a law enforcement officer is a heartbeat. As the sheriff said, it's the heartbeat of a father, a mother, an aunt, an uncle, a sibling. But rest assured, that police officer's heartbeat will not turn a blind eye to anyone seeking to harm children in this state. In Florida, you often hear cops say, it's not personal. The reality is, in cases like this, it's very personal to us. And we will not stand for predators preying on our children. Again, thank you, General Uthmeier. Thank you, Sheriff Woods, for allowing me to speak and represent your Florida Highway Patrol. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Colonel. Now I'll turn it over to our Attorney General, General Uthmeier.
It's an honor to be here in Marion County and support these guys standing behind me. Florida is the safest state in the country to raise a family, and it's because of the hard work of these men and women. We've got the best law enforcement in the country. They put their lives on the line every single day to protect our families. Here today, it's a shame that we have to announce such a big number, but I'm glad we got all these guys. Marion County does it better than almost anybody in the country, and I've invited other teams from other states to come down and learn the ropes, learn the tools, figure out how we can stay one step ahead of these horrific evildoers. We're going to fight day and night. You know, here in Florida, parents should rest assured that somewhere in the state we have undercover officers working every single day of the year to catch these dangerous predators. But parents at home, you are the first line of defense. Just look at some of the examples from these criminals that were taken down. You've got a naval officer from Jacksonville, a guy that owns a bouncy house company, a second-grade teacher, several illegal aliens. Danger is everywhere. You've got to be protecting your kids. If you do not know who they are home alone with or who they are alone with out at school or church or wherever, you need to think again. This could strike from anywhere. Just recently in Polk County, we took down a guy who'd been the Santa Claus every year for many years. It's sad that we live in a day and age where we've got to question the Santa Claus at the mall, but that is the hard truth. So parents, wake up, be defensive, and protect your kids. You are the first line of defense. Here in Florida, we're taking down predators like never before. Since I've been in office, it's been a record little over a year. Here today, this makes nearly 1,700 child predators arrested since I've been in office. Our statewide prosecutions are up over 50%, human trafficking convictions up over 30%. As the sheriff said, you've got an outstanding state attorney in Bill Gladson here, and he and our statewide prosecutors, we will be prosecuting to the fullest on every single one of these cases. Where you have a father trying to sell his 7-year-old child for sex, I'm a Christian man. I will pray for that individual. I will pray for healing. But that is messed up. He needs to be looking at the deep, dark, cold corner of a jail cell for the rest of his life. So mark my words, we will prosecute every one of these cases to the fullest. We will keep these people away from our families, away from our kids, for absolutely as long as possible. And please, again, you've heard me say this many times, exercise caution with social media. A lot of these cases originate online. A lot of predators are using the emergence of social media applications like TikTok, Snapchat, Discord, and others to pretend to be adults, to deceive children, and to find their way into your homes. It's no longer a white van driving around the neighborhood. That would almost be easier. It'd be easier for us to detect and take down. Today it's happening on screens, on cell phones, on computers, in the privacy of your children's bedrooms. So if you don't yet know what your kids are doing on those phones, on those computers, please figure it out. I want to thank everybody, the investigators that worked on this. This is tough work. Having to look at child pornography, having to go through these conversations with such gruesome individuals, that'll wear you down. So I hope you guys will get a little time off, take a vacation. Sheriff, I'm promising that to him here. You got to get out, clear your head a little bit. This is tough work, people. This is hard. But it is preventing people from being abused. It is saving lives. So God bless the work you do. The troopers, they utter fear out of you driving around on the roads, but they're in the air too. We had some aerial reconnaissance. I know Sergeant Torres is here. They got their eyes on you everywhere. So thank you for the work that you guys do. And FDLE bringing new technology, helping us with our cybercrime efforts, staying one step ahead of criminals that are always looking for new ways to commit crimes. Thanks for the work you guys do. So it's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to serve as Attorney General. We've got record crime lows in Florida for a reason. It's because we're taking down bad guys and we're putting them away for a long time. If you like leniency, you want to let people go early, I'm not your guy. All right. See you guys.
Thank you, General. Appreciate that. Before I go to questions, if there are any, I want to personally thank every trooper, every officer, every agent, every attorney that was part of this. Although there's a small group of them standing up here, these are the individuals that do the hard work, and the General hit the nail on the head. It takes a toll when you have to deal with this, because some of them are fathers, some of them are mothers. There's more sitting in the audience behind the cameras back here. The dedication in which and it makes me so proud to be in law enforcement for 36 years myself, of knowing individuals like this will continue the fight to put these individuals behind bars. And I'll conclude with this, is if anyone watching, if you think that evil, the devil himself, is asleep, taking a nap, or goes on vacation, you are utterly wrong. He never stops. And that is why the job in which we do, our resolve must never waver. Simple as that. I'll open up the floor to questions.
Did this operation raise any new specific concerns about the platforms in which these people are accused of using? I'm thinking about a specific obscure site like Sniffies, which is mentioned in the
So when it comes, it's almost like narcotics. Okay, let me give you a quick example. You know, when legislation, law enforcement identify a particular drug that needs to be put on the schedule. Okay, the bad people out here will then change the ingredient, and then it doesn't meet statute, and then we can't charge them. It's no different with these CHAP apps, CHAP places you go. Here's the truth in regards to those: it doesn't make a difference. Heck, it could be the Xbox when they're playing a game online, chatting with whoever it is. There's the window. Doesn't make a difference. You know, is it surprising? No, it's not surprising. I've been doing this too long to say that it's surprising. But they come up with it. What's in your hand is probably the most evil thing that's ever been created on this earth. Technology, the internet. It's good, don't get me wrong. It has its benefits, and we use it. But it's there.
Sheriff, at this time of these 58, how many of these guys are still sitting in jail right now as we have this president?
I hope all 58 of them are, but I do not know the answer to that question.
And can you introduce, you were the Attorney General, some of the specific charges, the solicitation, indecent materials, what are some of the specific charges that these predators are facing?
So I'm going to turn to Lieutenant. Do you want one of them, or somebody give some charges that some of them have? Lytle?
Sure.
Could you say your name and your title?
Sergeant Lytle. So a lot of the charges that we're looking for as the physical travelers is travel to meet a minor, but you also have additional charges like soliciting a child. So usually the offender will solicit a child, then travel. There's also a slew of internet charges that we can charge if they're sending pornography or soliciting photographs from a juvenile. We can. There's additional charges. Also, several of these offenders are facing sex trafficking or human trafficking charges as well.
What's your first name, sir?
John.
And you're with the Sheriff's Office?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Chase Shakes, the second grade teacher, did you say if he's been terminated from the school district?
He has, yes.
Not just on leave, he's terminated.
No, he's done. He's gone. Now I hope Rubio, right? I hope Rubio picks up on this and gets rid of the visa, whatever we can do, AG, that he never sets foot on U.S. soil ever again in his lifetime.
For the Attorney General and Colonel Howes, if we're able to ask a couple off-topic questions, specifically about the wrongful arrest of Lindsay Isaacs in Volusia County. I understand that she and her criminal attorney met with your office, Mr. Uthmeier, just a couple days ago. How did that meeting go, and do you think that Lindsay Isaacs deserves an apology, and what's the status of those two FHP troopers that are named in the civil lawsuit?
All right, so you just pissed me off. Now, I'll let him decide if he's going to answer your question, but all this shit, you want to ask him about some other case? We're talking about children. Now, if you're getting that from one of your people that typically is behind the phones that y'all have, wants you to ask that question, tell them to have the gonads to come here and ask me that question. That is what you need to be focused on.
To be fair, we did ask about that, and we are still
It doesn't make a difference. I'm not here to talk about what FHP did. I'm here to talk about what they did, nothing else. Let's get that abundantly clear, because it happens. It happens to this poor man all the time. You want to go off on a tangent. This press conference is solely for those pieces of shit that are right there. Are we clear? Now, Colonel, I'll still leave it up to you if you even want to address his question. You can do it afterwards. You can do it in front of the camera.
I'll say this. mistakes shouldn't happen. They do sometimes. This was not a good case. We've had private meetings. We'll have something that we can announce soon. If you want to direct a question for more specifics to the office, please do so.
He's the nice guy. He's the good cop.
Can you
Next.
talk more about the James Westervelt case?
James Westervelt kid, the juvenile. So, I'm sorry. My blood's flowing right now, pretty fast.
He was arrested for the child that he then killed.
Unrelated. Okay, it's a serious crime, and I get it.
It's still
How about off camera? That's not what the press conference is about. Okay, thank you. Next.
You mentioned it was the coach and the teacher. Any of these other predators have direct contact with some parents, but any other school employees, other coaches, any faith leaders, any others who had direct contact with children beyond them trying to predator them?
Do we have an answer? Do you
No.
know? Okay, answer's no. But I do. Go to the first one, Zach. See that brochure on the right? Pop Warner. That's here in Marion County. So Southwest Marion, you need to be aware. He's out there with the kids at Pop Warner. Nothing wrong with Pop Warner. Do not misinterpret my words. Do not take that in the wrong way, nor convey it in the wrong way. Nothing wrong with Pop Warner. Great program for kids. But you got to be aware of individuals that are in the house. You got a wolf. You got a fox in the hen house. Anybody else?
Do you have any indication that he was preying on kids on the team?
No, not at this time. For his sake, I hope he didn't. Anyone else? I appreciate y'all's time, and I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you very much.